Hello there, folks. Hey, Joe Wazoo here today. Today we're going to work on a migration project for customer. Has an existing G3.10 HMI, and they would like to migrate their communications from their Allen Bradley SLC 500 from serial protocol over to Ethernet. So here I have the existing database that's currently running in the G3.10. You can see here it's Crimson 2.0. So let's just take a look at this first before we get to our project. So I'm going to communications here, and I'm looking at a few things. I can see, I can see here's my serial protocol. And what they want to do is they want to migrate this from serial over to an Ethernet protocol. Now I want you to notice something here. In Crimson 2.0, in here, team, back then, we supported 4 protocols over Ethernet in Crimson 2.0. And you can see here right now, they've got all 4 being used. I don't know if these cameras are in use because they are got X's on them, so I don't know if they're being used. But anyway, you can see that here. There's no way here to add additional protocols in Crimson 2 like we can do here shortly in Crimson 3. I noticed that we've got some protocol GatewayBlocks under here. I don't know what's going on, but we can see that we're sending, looks like some kind of data into the PLC. We've got some camera information there. What about down here? We've got some other things. I don't know where this stuff's coming from, but we've got some protocol conversion going on there. We've got some Modbus TCP. Looks like we're talking to a PTV in this same application. And we've got some things over here. Okay, we see we've got a program here. Okay, so, all right, let's just be a little further nosy. Let's take a look at our data tags, and we can see that we've got a number of data tags in here. As I scroll through, you'll see different things. You'll see once in a while the question mark here, and you can see the word was. Typically that indicates that the device was mapped to, or the tag was mapped to something, but no longer is. We've got some other ones down here, so that might be something we'll address in a little bit here. And so we got another one here. Yep. There's another one ready. So something here. Okay. All right. So that's fine. We'll leave that alone. Go over here to user interface. We've got a lot of different things in here. All right. So we'll leave that alone. What about programs? We've got a number of programs in here. Okay, so we'll leave that alone. Let's see if there's anything being done. Data logging. Yes, there's some data logging going on. Okay, means that we have to have a compact flash card in that unit. All right. Web server turned on. Yep, and got a couple of simple pages. All right, nothing big there. About security manager. Yeah, it looks like we got a couple users. Okay. All right, so that looks good. That's the existing Crimson 2.0 database. Now, in order for us to migrate to Crimson 3.0 on this G3.10 HMI, it means it has to be a version 2 supported. So I currently have the customer taking a look at the unit and the back of it to get a picture to see what model it is. I think it might be based on the fact that this is a C2 version 2 version of this, but we'll see here later when I get the picture of the back of the unit. All right, so in Crimson 3.0, here I am in Crimson 3.0. I'm going to do File New, and I'm pretty sure we're going to use this 640 by 480 version right here for this in Crimson 3.0. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. That's the platform now that we're on, and I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to choose Import here. I'm going to try to import a previous version of this. So this is the program I have right here is what we're looking at. So we'll go ahead and hit the open button. And we're going to check these things here. And then we're going to click the import button. Okay, so it apparently imported into here. Now you can see here that we've got some errors that popped up right away here. So let's look at the errors. So ironically, it will take me to all the places that have the errors. And you can see here, this camera inspection number was mapped to something called PLC1. However, over here, there is nothing called PLC1. So somewhere along the line, somebody changed the name or deleted that or what have you, but that's what the errors are. So I'm going to go ahead and fix these errors. And the way I can do that, or I'll clear them, is I'll click this and make this internal. That gets rid of that one. However, I still have errors down here. So if I click on this, it'll take me to the next one and so forth. What I can also do is this little button right here is the search results. And I can click on that one at a time. I'll move this over here a little bit. And that'll take me to each one. So there's that guy. We'll go to the next one. Boom. Double click. Takes me here. Make this be internal. And we'll go to the next one, camera status. Make that be internal. Let's go down the list here. All right, so just fixing all these, getting rid of what I think are the errors by making them internal. I guess I'm not double clicking here. Hold on. I still got this new mouse that's okay. So I think I've cleared them all. I'm going to take my mouse and roll over the errors, and that makes Crimson recompile. So I've made all those ones that were mapped to nothing before. I've made them internal. That got rid of those errors. That looks good. All right, so our task, our real task here, team, is to create a new driver here to talk to the Allen Bradley over serial. So one of the drawbacks to Crimson 2.0 is you only have 4 protocols. Well, in Crimson 3.0, I can click on the word network here, and I can click the download tab right here. Not the download, I'm sorry. I click the add ports tab. I want to check this. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And on the add ports, I'm going to create a new network port here. Boom. And now I get a new protocol 5 right here. Let me make this, shrink this down a little bit. So if I click on protocol 5, I'm going to hit the pick driver here. I'm going to go ahead and select Allen Bradley. And usually we're going to use the DF1 via PCC EIP for the slicks over Ethernet. So I'll click that guy. And if I click right here on PLC1 right here, it's a slick that we're talking to. I'm hoping that's what it is because the part number here is SLC. So I'll leave that there. And what I'll do here is I'm going to change the name of this to SCL. I guess it should be SLC, but SLC or yeah, that's SCL 500. And then I'll do an underscore. A as an apple. Just something slightly different right there. All right. Now, the customer told me that the IP address of the slick is going to be 10.24.10.39. So I'll put that in there. Let me just check a few things here. Just like to be nosy. 10.24.10. Okay, so that's on the same network. And is this on the same network? Oh, that's being a slave. Okay, yeah, probably is. All right. I don't know if these guys are here, but looks good. Okay, so we've set that up. Now, let's address these gateway blocks before we get to changing tag names. So if I look at this gateway block up here, expand this guy, I can see that it's going to the floating point registers with these things mapped across. So if I go down here to this SLC and add a gateway block here, I'm going to click this guy, and then I'm going to click on this block, and once I do that, I can manually pick the floating point registers right here and click OK. And I would probably have to redo them starting at F13 here, as you see here. I'm going to try something. If I click on this block right here, I have down here block commands. I'm going to attempt to export these mappings. So I'm going to click the export mappings, and I'll call this one block 1. And I'll just save it in a directory here. Boom. All right, so I think I've saved it. Now I'm going to go back down here to this block, and I'm going to click this import to mappings. I'm going to click this import mappings here. Boom. I'm going to select the same block, click open, and let's see if it did it. If I expand this tree, look at that. Marvelous work. That created that for me. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, and I'm going to add another gateway block. Boom. block 2. If I go up here to block 2, this guy is going to the N12 registers. Let's just expand the tree, and it's at least got 1. So I know I don't know if we're using the camera or not, but I'm going to leave the same mapping. So I'm going to export these mappings. Boom. I'll call this one block 2. Enter. And if I go down here to block 2, I want to import here, but notice that these are grayed out. I kind of got lucky earlier with that other step. So if I hit the pull down here and just go to the N registers, because that's what those were, the N7s, but I think they're N something else. Doesn't matter. I'll click OK. Now I can click the import mappings. I'll click here. Boom. I'm going to select block 2. Click open. And now, let's see here. All right, perfect. That took care of that one. So let's go ahead and add one more block. Create block. There's block 3. Let's go up here to block 3. Let's see what's going on in block 3. Some hour meter things or something here to some other N7 table. So I'm going to go ahead and export this block. Boom. Call this one block 3. There we go. Slide down here to block 3. We already learned from the previous one that we've got to map it to something. I'll do the N7 right here. That allows me to pick the import mapping. So I'll click here. I'll select block 3. Click open. And now I've got my block 3. Perfect. So everything's mapped the same. N7 here to these. If I go up here and look. You know what? Hold on. It's block 2 right here. Very interesting. I missed something. So this is supposed to start at N1911. See that? So let's go down here. Fix that right here. I think if I change this to N19 right there, change this to Word 11, click open, okay. That mapped that, okay, that looks good. Matches everything up here. Yep. Let's check number 2. I don't think I caught on to that. It's 1230. Okay, so we go down here to block 2. I'm going to collapse this tree, expand this one, click here. Yep, it's slightly off. So it's number 12 and 30 right here. Enter. All right, that took care of that guy. Let's double check block 1 because I have a suspicion. Yep, it went to the F8. And if we go up here and look at the block 1 here, it's F13. So let's go down here to this guy. Boom. Click pick, and it's going to be F13, starting at word 0. Click OK. Boom. All right, now I believe that all my blocks are mapped the same over Ethernet. Okay, that looks perfect. Now the next step is we want to take all of the tags that are mapped to this guy and migrate them over to this connection. So this is where things get a little crazy. Let me go save this program real quick. I'm going to save it right now. Let's call this one, what do they call this thing? Well, I'll just call it G310 underscore V2 underscore C3.0, for instance, for now. And I'll do a date 21/12. Today's the 9th. All right, so I've got it saved. So now I'm going to do something very strange. I'm going to delete or clear this mapping here. I'm going to clear this mapping, and then I'm going to change the name of this one to the previous name of this guy and see if I can get the tags to jump over this connection. So it should wreak some havoc here in Crimson for a little bit, but then I'll fix it. So I'm going to click here on this port, and I'm going to do clear port settings. So it created all kinds of errors. Yep, that's correct, because right now there's a bunch of tags that are looking for SLC or SCL 500. And so right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this guy, and I'm going to change this. I'm going to delete that suffix I had, underscore A, hit enter, boom. And look, all the errors went away. When I did that, Crimson automatically remapped all of these to the new Ethernet-based driver. So I believe from here on out, everything else on this application should operate exactly the same. The programs are still here. They're all in modern Crimson 3.0 environment. And let's just check our web server. Come on, mouse, work with me. Web server still looks good. Data logger is still accurate, correct? Yep. And security has. So I think right now that based on what I've done, I feel pretty confident that we have taken the serial protocol of this and migrated over to an Ethernet protocol using the DF1 driver, and the blocks are set up. So I feel pretty confident about this. So this should be all it takes. Anyway, I'm migrating here, like I said, a Crimson 2.0 database to Crimson 3.0 and moving my communications from RS-232 to Ethernet based with a SLC PLC. It is correct, SLC, and this is SCL. Anyway, I thought it was backwards. But all right, folks. Well, hey, thanks a lot. Have a great day. We'll see you later.